While much of the attention in the Mackenzie Shirilla case has centered on her relationship with Dominic Russo, Davian Flanagan's story is sometimes overshadowed. He wasn't Mackenzie's boyfriend. He wasn't part of the drama. He was simply a friend in the wrong place at the wrong time. Davian was an innocent passenger, a young man with his whole life ahead of him, whose name too often gets lost when people talk about this case. His memory deserves to stand on its own. The detective interview with Davian Flanagan's adoptive parents gives us a rare and emotional look at who Davian really was. They share how proud they were to call him their son, how much light he brought into their family, and how devastating it was to lose him in such a senseless way. Through their words, Davian is no longer just a victim in a tragic crash. He's remembered as a loved and cherished young man.
This case gets overshadowed by Mackenzie and her boyfriend, RIP to Dom, and he didn't deserve to die. But Davian never gets mentioned, and I'm going to challenge the bigger YouTubers to start mentioning the victims' names. Start saying their names, because that is going to haunt Mackenzie forever, and they deserve it. It's getting to the point where people are making videos, and they're clickbaiting, and they're putting all this effort into going at Mackenzie and you know, making fun of Mackenzie. But at the end of the day, we cannot forget Davian. Davian has a GoFundMe out there, and that goes to people that are in barber school, and their tuition gets paid by the parents as soon as they get enough money up from the donations, and that is awesome. This dude was going to have a bright future. He was a great kid. From everything that we've heard from every individual, we haven't heard one bad thing about Davian. And listen, Mackenzie Shirilla is a killer. That channel has been doing a great job showing the victims, the bright side of the victims, the happy moments. And then other people are not even mentioning the victims. I haven't even heard them mention the victim's name one time. And this is why I started to go at certain individuals in the Wade Wilson case, and I'm about to turn back up. And I don't care if you think that we're friends on YouTube or what. I'm on the side of the victims, and I'm going to put my foot down, and I'm going to make sure that you say their names. Let's go.
It is August 9 at 17:27. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Flanagan, Davian's parents. I'd like to start. Just tell me about Davian, please. Just general.
Davian had a big heart. He sometimes to his own detriment, but he was faithful and loyal and was very easy to make friends. But he also was...
He just wanted, he was always there for people.
Right.
If you needed him, he was there. If it was family, if it was friends. Like I said, just that's his
emotionally,
heart.
Physically, he was there for you.
Yes. Just a really big heart. He was very passionate about football. That was his... it was his dream when he came to us at 8.5 from foster care. He had never had the opportunity to be involved in organized sports. As a mother, I was like, oh, does it have to be football? Can it be something else? But it was what he loved. And, he
eventually became the starting running back for Strongsville in his senior year. So
and that was a dream achieved.
It was a dream come true, but then
of course wanted to continue on.
The harsh reality of a torn ACL in his third game of his senior season. Yes. So he got to live the dream for a little bit, and I think, if we're being completely honest, it was probably the start of his downward spiral when he lost his passion, the thing he was most passionate about in life, and he had that kind of taken away from him.
And I would say his rebellion. I think he was in a bit of a rebellious phase when he's 19, 18, 19. But in general, he was just such a kind and loving soul. He was... I would always say he had an old soul because he was just like wise beyond his years in a lot of ways, because he's had to experience so much in his short life.
Yeah, he saw a lot in those 8.5 years before he came to us. He was exposed to a lot of things that no one should be exposed to at all, let alone a child.
Right. You don't end up in foster care on an easy path from to get there. So he was He was
He was
a
athletic.
protective. He was a protective and loving brother. He really always, even from the beginning when the kids came to us, he was always, just checking in on the girls, making sure that, that crying that he's hearing is them, kind of rebelling against maybe the timeout they were given, or, have a seat here, honey, everyone's okay, no one's being hurt, come on, take a look, he was always in the periphery.
Always checking in on his sisters.
Always checking in on his sisters. He had
all they
experience.
had was each other. Really,
that's
for much
all.
of their young life, it's all they
Yeah.
had was each other.
They were in county care for 2.5 years before we found them.
Really?
And they were legally free for adoption when we found them. So we went into it knowing and wanting to adopt, and wanting to keep the siblings together. And amazing.
He was very athletic.
Hardworking. Very hardworking.
Very hard worker.
He put
He
his
was
mind to
also
funny and
he had a great sense of humor.
charming and handsome. He was all of these things, but he wanted to go on to be a barber. That was his dream.
He was a team barber for the football team and the coaches, so he had his own equipment, and he would always have them over, but much to our detriment, because there was hair always all over the place. But
and in fact, we just left the funeral home this morning, and one of the things they said is he will not need a barber or beautician. His hair looks great.
He did a good job with it before he passed. He wanted to own his own shop someday. So it really was like a lifelong passion for him. Like he had every opportunity through being in Strongsville and Strongsville High and having parents who could help him achieve his goals. He could have chose to go to college. He could have chose to be a fireman or a policeman because he was very athletic and built. He chose barbering. It was literally a passion for him. He got great enjoyment out of giving great haircuts.
He also loved to take things apart and see how they worked. Very mechanically inclined. There's been bike rebuilds,
car rebuilds,
like bicycle, not motorcycle. But also, just always tinkering. I mean, we put him even 6th, 7th grade. We signed him up for a summer mechanics course at Polaris. Just get his hands wet and learn. He might have been 8th grade.
And he would.
And he also did one for law enforcement. Just trying to get his interest peaked, see what
whatever
he wants,
it would be.
or
and he would spend. This is a little bit before the spiral, but he would spend days at the next door neighbor's house with a car jacked up and helping them, just
helping a friend,
not requiring anything more than just a friend asking, and totally taking apart these vehicles and putting them back together again.
Yeah.
And
for no monetary gain or for anything, he just was. This was, what
part
the
of being
boys
a good friend
did.
was,
It was. It was part of being a good. That's just.
He was just a really good friend to his friends. He had a really large group of friends.
We were working. He was working towards. So he just graduated high school, and he just obtained a full-time job recently, and he was working at. It was Armbrusters.
It's a moving and storage company in Brunswick.
On 303.
And 130th.
Yeah.
Catty corner from the Aldi warehouse in Brunswick, if you know where that is.
Yeah, he was working full-time in the warehouse, but also going out on moves. So he was doing, hard physical labor.
Earning some good money.
Moving pianos in houses. And he was
saving up for
barber school and just, to get himself more set up in a better financial position. Barber school, the one that he wanted to go to, and we've got applications and stuff for. There's one downtown that's by the West Side Market area.
That was what he wanted,
and that's the best in the area, and that's what we're looking at. We've already talked to people there. There's a 1-year wait list, which we were working on getting him onto.
Which is why he was working.
So the idea was that he was going to work full time, live at home, save some money, get himself set up, and we were going to assist, with caring and providing for him, obviously, and But he was going to have some skin in the game for sure with barber school.
Cool.
So
That's absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was really on such an upward trajectory. He didn't have it all figured out yet, but at 19, yeah.
So can we talk about the downward spiral?
Sure.
Is that an okay topic to delve into?
Yeah.
Sure, if it helps.
You kind of brought that up
Yeah,
too. So
yeah, I did.
yeah.
So tell me more about it.
So Davion, okay, so if you look at how Davion came to us at 8.5, he always had balls up. He's not going to let anyone hurt him like that again. Was kind of, I'm sure how he was.
Closed off.
He's afraid to, in a lot of ways, like
Trust.
yeah.
Yeah.
He had been hurt and abandoned and, all these things. And so over the years with us, though, we had really built that up. We had built the trust and the love, and he was really, really finding his way
It seemed
in
like
there.
that. Mhm.
But he's also a popular kid. And there's a lot of influences out there that no matter how hard we try, we would try to keep him from that. To be in all honesty, my husband and I had some marital problems, not really like
About 5 years ago or
mind-induced,
so.
about 5 years ago.
I was
My-
undiagnosed bipolar, and I was going through a manic episode that I wasn't aware of. I still made the decisions I made. I still
But
take
there
full
were-
responsibility. But we had some marital fidelity issues.
Well, and just things that come out of that when,
Right. And that
um,
really stepped him back a bit because he thought he was in a safe place.
Yes.
He thought he was in a place that he could open up maybe
And
and
he
start to
was.
share. And he really was, but that
Yeah.
my lying and my cheating and the
it
things
hurt
that I
him
did,
deeply. And
it
him,
hurt him
as much
deeply.
as I tried to shelter the children from it, they're aware. They're observant. They've been through a
Kids are
lot
wise,
of trauma
yeah.
anyway, so
They know
they
where to
just
spot it.
pick
They know how
up
to spot
on
it.
stuff. And so through that process, though, my husband and I have obviously are still together. We've done a lot of counseling and work. We found God together
through this trial, and so did Davion.
So did Davion. We
And
were
his
all,
sisters. We were all baptized the same day.
April 1st, 2018, on Easter at Grace
Church in Middleburg Heights.
Christian and Missionary Alliance Church in Middleburg Heights. We
And-
were all baptized together that day, and it was something that I originally thought I was just going to do. But then slowly after I made this statement that yes, this is what I'm going to do, slowly over the next week or two, everyone came to me individually and said, I would like to do this too. Are you sure? I'm in my 40s. You don't
You have to find God when you're 14 or 12 or
it was
But they all
a
wanted it.
beautiful moment. He was very involved in church at times, but then, these losses happen. When he was already kind of, he turned 18. This is just a unique situation because when he came to us, he was behind in school, obviously, 8.5, having not a lot of groundwork done. And now he's going to a really good school program. Strong Still is a great program. He's in first grade with kids that have had years of adults pouring
them.
into their lives. And just the fact that even he was on grade level by the time, it just is phenomenal. All of the children. I mean, his sister Divine came to us going into kindergarten, did not know her alphabet, letters, sounds, and couldn't hold a crayon properly. We have done an immense amount of work, tutors, full-time nannies, but just pouring into these kids.
And Davion, because I think of what he'd been through and his family history, a medical history of mental illness, he struggled. He struggled with depression. No, I mean, and anxiety.
He did.
He did.
He struggled with depression
And I
and
think
anxiety.
that's what kind of fed into the spiral a bit is because when he smoked weed, he felt calm. He felt happy. Something that the medicine, we hadn't quite found the right cocktail yet for him of medications to get him the help he needed. And he didn't really want to talk to people and open up about the things that he'd gone through in his life.
Like
so he self-medicated with
different-
marijuana.
Yeah.
And then
we discovered that obviously very quickly, and that hasn't been that long.
It hasn't. I think again when he hurt his knee and he started to spiral, that's when I think it really started to happen.
He really was very anti-drug. I mean, for a long time he
went through the DARE program and he gave a speech that had everyone in the room crying. The mayor shook his hand. Persiak came and shook his hand after his speech, talking about how drugs ripped apart his birth family, and he'd never have that happen to him in his life. But his mental, I think just the weight of his mental illness and the things he was struggling with, his anxiety especially.
And we were trying to get things figured out too. I mean, my kids have always seen counselors and therapists and child psychiatrists, and because we want to give them every opportunity to succeed as possible and give them all the support, whatever that is going to be. And so, we had tried to do that. Davion was fiercely independent, though. He, from a young age, I mean, to be honest, he was watching adults in his previous, birth family and even in foster care. I mean, they were moved for reasons of violations by foster parents, that he was watching adults make decisions that, quite frankly, his ideas might have been better than theirs at that point. Right. And so there was just this piece inside him that always just wanted to be in charge of himself.
Right.
And he
knew better than the adults.
And it made sense. But in our situation, in our house, and the way that we parented and poured so much into him, that was a struggle at times, because he would think this and we would think that, and
he'd say okay, but then he wouldn't do it,
and then he would
because he was independent,
do what he wanted behind his back. And so really there was no evidence that he was using. I mean, he might have been in with the the fun, maybe on the border of getting in trouble crowd. But right before, it was right after actually, he tore his ACL. We were waiting for surgery, right? So this would have been October of last year. He, like I said, he was fiercely independent. I'm sorry, back to when he turned 18. Because he was, held back. He was the first of the siblings to go into school. He was held back in kindergarten. That's when things start to come to light. People can't hide the conditions at home, and so a lot of children, that's when things are brought to light to the foster care system. He turned 18 March of his junior year, which is a very difficult,
very early time
and a very difficult time as a parent. Because I mean, I know what myself, I was like, I'm 18, you can't tell me what to do, da, 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 da. Well, we had a year and a half to go through that before he was going to be graduated, or a year and 3 months, or a couple months, and so from a very and then you had the pandemic on top of it all, and the lockdowns. We have his sister Divina is a type 1 diabetic. I'm a medical professional. I understand the risks, and we were strict about protecting everyone's well-being in our home and health, physically and mentally. But he wanted to be off with his friends. Okay, and so there was just so much going on there.
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Is it okay to pause the recording
Yes,
if I can ask a question?
Not for that.
Not for that. Also, I can't ask a question.
No, you can ask. Go ahead.
But it'll be
not,
part of the recording.
Yes, it will be part of the record.
How much do you want us to reveal? Because I just don't want to.
Right.
I'm worried about if this goes further, saying things that
things
might.
are searchable. Is how I feel.
Right.
There's certain
Anything
things
that
are searchable.
is pertinent to the investigation. So I'm trying to. The reason I'm asking, first of all, I want to know what Davion is. When I investigate his death, I want to be able to investigate my little brother.
Right.
I want to be able to connect with him and understand what kind of person he was. So next time when I sit, so it's not just a person.
Right.
It's a family member. Yeah. So I want to make that connection in getting
So
to
you
know
wanted
him.
all.
I've
You
never
wanted-
I've never met him. I don't I don't know him.
Yeah.
He didn't have any run-ins with the police, positive or negative, that I was involved in.
Right.
So I want to be able to, when I sit with these other kids that I'm going to interview, to have an idea of who is Davion from the people who lived with him every day,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
right? And so, because it's easy, if I don't know him very well, if you hear rumors here and there, to start getting swayed, and I want to be anchored in knowing who he is.
Okay,
Right.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
And so it's very important,
Yeah.
as much as you're comfortable with it.
Yeah. So
I'm not
Right.
No, that's good.
I'm letting
Well,
you do the
That's good. No, I
talking,
just
so
was
Yes.
you
And-
steer this
yeah.
conversation.
So there
Okay.
were two Davions, is what
Well,
I'd like to say. There was
sort
the
of.
at-home Davion
Yeah.
who was comfortable expressing his deepest, darkest emotions and fears, and working
Inside
through
our home and
his mental illnesses that he was struggling with. Because I do believe he had anger, like
Well,
the anger issues too.
yes, I
that
mean intermittent explosive
explosive
things
disorder.
like that.
He was
but,
diagnosed with intermittent
um,
explosive disorder,
first,
which only happened in the home.
It was
Like there was a
no
Davion
one
that was
saw it
outside
anywhere else.
that no one knew that he could explode, because he never did with his friends.
Right.
He was
We
always
were in a
happy,
safe place.
loving, great friend Davion.
And he was.
And he was
in our
most
home
of the
too.
time at home, but when the stress got really hot and we hadn't found again the right mixture of medicines
Well,
yet to really, I
And
think,
not
help
just
him,
that, but we were holding
And
him accountable.
we were holding him accountable, and he
no one else is holding him accountable.
no one else is holding him accountable. So there were times when he might punch a door, or turn a bed over in anger. Now these are like maybe 5 or 6 times over all the years we had him,
Correct.
but they did happen. And so I didn't know how
Right.
much he wanted to
No,
know
again,
of. Yeah,
We have no reports of him in public
Yeah.
punching somebody because he
Exactly.
had an anger episode.
No,
Right.
So,
he did not.
like I said, we all have bad days.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Just throw something or jump
Yeah.
Right, so he felt comfortable at
Now-
home, kind of being himself more
Yes.
in stuff that he maybe kind of hid more from his friends, or maybe he was just happier, maybe out because he wasn't being held accountable
Because it was free.
by his friends.
No,
and he was
and
free,
he felt that he could
so he was just
make his own
happy-go-lucky
choices.
Davion.
He could,
Right.
And but to be honest, we were really starting to see that at home again too. Like he
Like,
was happy.
He
was
he told
telling
people he
his
was happy
friends
too.
he
That
was happy.
yeah,
I'm getting
because he
this
moved out
together.
for 2 or 3 months and lived with Landon Turner, who is known as Bubba as well. I don't know if he's a football teammate of Davion's.
Yeah.
And he when he turned 18, we kind of drew the line and said, you can live in the house, this
We
is
had a
your
living
home,
agreement.
but we had
like
a
a
living
contract.
agreement. This is what you need to do. This is your curfew. This is your
You gotta
whatever
go
while
to
you're going to
school.
school.
This, there's not going to be, drugs, alcohol, illegal things in my home. There's not
Right.
going to be. You're not going to you're going to be a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
You know.
And so we
And
held him
that's,
accountable one time, and he didn't want to abide by the consequence of being held
And
accountable.
so we left.
And so he left. He moved out.
And then,
Um,
there were a few times
And he
that
stayed with
it
Landon for
happened.
about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then he graduated from school, from high school. And we kind of had we met with him at Landon's
lunch.
house, picked up some of his bags because they said,
Yeah.
you're out of
We
here
went
now
out
because
to
you're
lunch,
graduated.
yeah.
His parents, Landon's parents did. We went out to lunch. We talked about what a mutual, respectful relationship is and
Like
how
a
we can live
living
together.
agreement.
Yeah,
a living
another-
arrangement. What
Right.
would that look like? Will you always have a home here? This is your forever home. We love you. But there's guardrails to what's expected
Left
in our home. And those are for the protection of your sisters as well. And honestly, for your own personal well-being, whether or not you believe it or
Right.
not,
We can't
and
make
so-
him stop taking, smoking marijuana at the point of what we knew he was doing.
At that
We can't
time
stop
we knew.
that. Yeah, we can't stop you from doing that when you're outside of our house, but you don't bring it in the house.
And I have
You don't
told
bring
him
it
as
home.
such.
You don't come home in bad shape. You don't show your sisters that. You don't bring any substances into the house. These are just a few of the rules that we have.
We highly recommend that you stop all of that behavior. Look at what it's doing. It's causing problems in your life here or there, really in many different areas, but you're 18, 19. All I can do is say, I'm not going to enable you. I'm not going to give you whatever money, or I'm not going to allow you to live here.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, we even had the conversations that I'm telling you, if I find it, I will be the one to report you. because I will do what I have to do to get you help. And you'll probably hate me for it for a while, but you'll thank me one day. And so this period, though, with Davion was really not a very long period. It was like...
The period that you spiraled?
Or I know you're calling it spiraling, but like, yeah.
Well, he had 10 points in 3 months on his license. That's spiraling. He
was making...
Really bad choices. He was
in a bunch of accidents. He had a car that he was working
trying to
on.
soup up, and
the guys, they're doing mods on it. And I'm going, what are you guys doing? And
so it was a little bit unsafe for the road.
I think personally,
so did our mechanic.
Eventually, when we forced him to, because I'm like, we're taking this off the insurance. We're not allowing you to drive it. If you can go get your own insurance, you're 18. And so it's hard because we've had to have a lot of tough conversations with Davion, and that caused friction for quite some time. But I think
when he came back, things changed.
Yeah, like
for
his
the better,
time
at least
period
as far as his relationship
when
with
he
us.
had kind of moved out for a while because he felt like you just need to understand that I'm a man. I need to make my own way and figure out my own way. But he came back and was much more focused on the things he had with us at home and with the family versus maybe some of the freedoms that we wouldn't allow.
And so there was this
if that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot.
He had like when he was living with Landon, he had lost his jobs. He was unemployed.
He wasn't going to school.
He wasn't going to school very much. He did end up graduating by the skin of his teeth.
He was also severely depressed and stopped taking his medication.
Right.
Out of rebellion, kind of too. He had said, some hateful things. As a parent, I wouldn't need this if it wasn't for you, guys. Well, we're the ones holding you accountable, honey. We care about you. We're the ones that love you. We're trying to get you better.
So he came back, and things were a little better when he came back.
They were a lot better. In fact, he had he was doing some volunteer work at our church, and was at an event that it was a youth event, and our youngest daughter Dalia was there. And during the service, he. And I kept saying, we just need to get him back into the church. I can't force him to go, but we need to get him back into this community and people that care about him. I'm really concerned about some of this, friend periphery group, but getting him back. And he had a breakthrough where he was just crying during the service. He went up to his sisters and said, I'm sorry.
I haven't been the best brother.
For everything that I've done. I might not have been the best brother, because when he did move out, I'll be honest, our girls, that triggered a lot of abandonment trauma in them. And that was hard, And,
just like their parents.
And they're still in contact, but it's not the same. And I would try to explain, honey, you realize he's not going to live here forever, right? Like, he's going to grow up, and so are you eventually. You're going to move out. But just... that's where I'm saying he was like fiercely independent, but I think he also, I remember when I was 19 or 18 just thinking like, oh, when I get out there, it's going to be this way. And the reality of the world is so much different, and adulting is hard work. It's really hard work. And so I think, he came back, and there were a lot of conversations that I had with him where he said, Mom, I get what you're doing now. And, I gotta be honest, like, you and Dad, like, what you're doing is really special and really amazing. And I don't know that anyone else could do it. Other families that I've seen, they're a different dynamic, they're bio kids and that kind of stuff, but your motives are different. And I know that.
So at what point did Dominic and Mackenzie come into the picture?
Very recent.
Like, give me, if you can.
And that's part of the thing is,
his closeness to them, I think, is recent. I think he would have known them in high school for a long time. But I think as Davion got more maybe into the marijuana scene and hanging out with people who could provide it, maybe he he wasn't working as much. He just started working again before he passed the accident. But I think, he wanted to hang with people who had access to it.
But at the same time, he had this, like, this moment, an epiphany, like literally within the last like couple weeks, and was like, Mom, I'm gonna quit all of this. And I'm like, okay, you know, let's do it. Let's not, like, you know, today's the day. You know, it's never too late. Yeah, it's never too late to start again. So they're new friends, newer to his scene.
What was their influence like? I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
Did he ever talk about him? Did he ever bring him around?
I've never met Dominic. I've never met Kenzie. He never brought them
never brought
around.
that
The only time there was any interaction was when Dominic was apparently pulled over in front of our house recently. And to be honest, like, we didn't really have a lot of conversation with that after, because Davion came into the house very hot, like very upset about what had happened and feeling like.
Well, it's because I said, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future."
And
I was up at 3 a.m. when he was pulled, because he was in the car with Dominic when Dominic got pulled over. And I said to him, he's like, he has a medical marijuana card. I don't want to talk about this. And I said, okay, we won't talk about it right now, but show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You're hanging out with the wrong people, Davion.
What are you doing?
And
We're
what are you
worried
doing?
about you.
Right.
You know,
and so we let it drop at that point. And Davion needed a place to stay when we went on vacation, because he hadn't built enough trust with us yet to stay at the house alone.
I was trying
while
to,
we went on vacation.
Yeah, I was encouraging him. I really wanted him to come, but I also know that he needed money. He needed his, you know, like.
He just started a new job.
He started a new job, and I don't think he was comfortable bringing up, hey, my parents signed me up for this 2-week vacation. I just started, but can I have 2 weeks off? Like, in 2 weeks, you know.
So is that the reason he didn't?
He didn't go with us, right? And I think he wanted to say goodbye to his friends that were leaving for college, because we were going to be gone for 2 weeks on vacation. So we still wouldn't be back until this Sunday, the day of the service.
Yeah. I mean,
the viewing.
Yeah, he normally would have gone. So he stayed, you know, and we were
he was looking for a place to stay. We had some family.
He was going to stay with family. We had the conversation about, you know, him staying there at the house, and, you know, I was like, you need, like, what we were looking for was somewhere that he could stay that had an adult presence, like a responsible adult presence.
We had no
obviously
idea.
Not looking for a babysitter, so to speak, but like, okay, so, you know, one of the things that we thought, okay, well, you know, okay, you'll stay with Dominic, you know, his parents are at least next door. And we had no idea that Dominic was a dealer at this point. Right, but also, obviously, no idea. But also, and I'm not saying I expected Mr. and Mr. Russo to babysit my child either, but we did offer them and Dominic some money to help with food, or to, you know, like, in exchange for him staying there. And we did give them a couple $100, and we gave it to Davion for him to give to them. Because, you know, we knew this was a big ask, but we really wanted him to be somewhere that, like, I'm not leaving you. I'm not going to be on vacation and worried about what's going on at my home the entire time, even though we have cameras. Right. Even though I have, you know, an alarm system and locks that I can lock here or there. Davion was also, he was at times, you know, ADD. And he would forget to close the garage door. And I would get up at night and I'd be like, we got a message in our mailbox from, you know, the patrol. Hey, stop leaving your garage door open. You're inviting, you know, stuff. And just, you know, I mean, it's something that I think also kids, just as they age and it becomes their property, they start to pay more attention to the safety aspects of it. And so we weren't comfortable with that. We also weren't comfortable because we knew, like, okay, so we had sat down with him really in the last, like, probably 6 to 8 weeks with him moving back in. He moved back in right before June, like right before commencement.
Yeah.
And you know, we had gone back out, and even, like, I mean, from the text messages I had said, I'm assuming, hey, I just want to make this clear because you mentioned, yes, you're graduating, yes, you're this, and now you're telling me you need to be out of your place that you're staying, you know, like which this was like a complete blindside to me, because for a while there was probably a month period of that 3 months that he was gone that Davion didn't want us to know where he was. We didn't know where he was. we just knew that he wasn't showing up at school. And he wasn't, and we're reaching out to the school, and he's an adult, please, try, if there's someone there that can get through to him and his heart, and it's not us, please. There's people in the building that care about him. He's struggling right now. He's hurting. He lost his football passion. This was his dream to go on to play, and that was taken from him. And so he, I think a lot of it stemmed from that, and then from the anxiety, and he got behind in school, and then it just became too big. And too big. And I just kept saying, honey, like, people want to help you. Reach out to your teachers. They're emailing us. Reach out to, we were in so much contact with the guidance counselor, the principal. So in any case, this was, a recent thing that he was back in our home, and that we had
2
these
months.
Conversations with him. I completely lost my train of thought again.
We were
It's
talking
been a
about-
really long day.
That's okay. We were talking about why we left him, why he couldn't stay at the house, and
yes.
why he could not have his sister's car to borrow.
Yes.
Because we said, why you're still using, we're
Like,
not trusting the vehicle to you.
So
It's
before
just-
he had even come home to us, I'm not naive. Like, I had caught a few things in his urine before, just parenting, and said, and it was nothing. It was marijuana. It was nicotine, and we had those hard conversations, but coming up to that, we were very clear, I don't know what you've been doing, but here's how it's going to go, and you're not going to do that here, and there's not going to be any violence, and there's not going to be any weapons, there's not going to be illegal activity on my property. You're gonna, if you're not coming home that night, I'm not going to give you a curfew, you're 19, but at the same time, if I wasn't coming home, I would let my family know, and that's because we're worried, and we can't sleep when we don't know if you're hurt or injured or in trouble. We had laid down some very basic rules. And one of the things was during this process where, he was in these accidents, his car was in an accident that was totaled, and then it was repossessed. Because, again, he turned 18. He went off and said, I'm going to get my own phone, so you can't have any access to where I am. I'm going to go off to fiercely independent. I'm going to go off and I'm going to buy a car because you can't take that. You can't tell me what to do with it. You can't tell me I'm grounded from that vehicle.
So, when was the last time you heard from him?
He texted us on, was it Friday night?
Yeah, well, and his sister and I were on the phone. I didn't talk to him personally, but earlier that day, so Saturday, we were out at a surf shop, looking for stuff to bring home for him, and Divine was on the phone like, hey, what do you think? Would you like this versus this?
Yeah.
And so she was in contact with him, and like kind of through that I was. Prior to that, our last message from him was right before we left.
Friday night now, when we got down to North Carolina, he texted that he loved us and we hope we have a good time.
Yes. Okay, so it was Friday night. I'm just trying to look back. I have so many
That would be
messages.
Friday the
29th.
Yeah.
29th, Saturday was the 30th.
Yeah, and so we had told him that, I'm not comfortable because I know that you have these points on your license. I know that you have, I don't know what you've been doing if you can't prove to me right now that you haven't been smoking marijuana, we're not comfortable handing you keys to our car or vehicle that we own or own insurance on until you can prove to us that you're making better choices and that you're, so we were going to Uber him back and forth to work. And that
But then he
was
said
a
Dominic can give me a ride.
Yeah.
He said Dominic has vehicles, he can give me a ride to and from work.
And it's complicated because we have a big family here, but everybody was there, the part of the family
North
that
Carolina.
was here.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like trying to think like, who can we offer? And I was like, you know what, if we need to Uber you, but I will send me the receipt. That's the money I will give you. I'm not, even when he moved back in, me not knowing what's going on with him and his friend group, and if he was dabbling in marijuana still or not, we wouldn't give him cash because I was not going to contribute to that.
Right.
So, have you ever heard of Paul?
No.
That's a new name to me.
That's a new name until all this happened. We never knew about Paul.
So who are his close friends? If I were going to track down his
Husni.
And it's hard because it's high school and the drama, and it's
right,
hard to keep up with.
Right. But anybody whose
yeah.
name came up frequently.
Joey.
Kingston.
Joey. Not Joey. It's
Joey
Joe Kingston.
Probst, Probst was someone that
Joey
he had
Probst.
been with a lot recently.
Who was also into the drug scene.
From what we understand, which I
smoking.
found out. I
Right.
know it's unfortunate, but
Joe
and to
Kingston
be honest,
was a
I didn't
close
know
friend?
that until we went and sat down with his mother,
With Joey's mother.
Yeah.
right before we were going to leave, because
He might have stayed
he had
there.
said, "Oh, Joey, I could probably stay at Joey's," and so, you know, I reached out to Joey's mom. Joey's mom texted me back, and we met for ice cream to talk about it. You know, and then she had
Ended up
shared
not
some
working
things
out,
with me that I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that all of this was going on." You know,
At your house.
at your
Meaning-
house.
meaning-
Would you be able to tell me things like what?
Well,
I'm not going to
like,
reach out to her.
I
Okay.
know,
Just,
and I
you know.
Marijuana
well,
for
like
sure.
for instance, Scott. How I got her phone number was when Scott pulled up one time to pick up Davion. She came out and talked to him and said, "You know that the kids are smoking here." I'm like, "What?" You know, like Scott said, he's
Yeah.
like, "You know, they're smoking." This turned into a bit of a party house, and you know, she's not okay with this, but yet. I also, and I say this with like, I don't really know what the correct way to say it is, but I do know that like she has some,
She's socially awkward.
yes, and she has some medical things where, you know, she does have a seizure disorder that she's had since she was a child and still has seizures. She can't work, she can't drive, and talking to her, I don't know if she's on the spectrum at all. But, you know, having conversations, I'm like, wait, where did that part even come into this conversation?
Yeah, it's a little disjointed.
And
when
so
you
I
talk to her.
felt, you know, like my heart was like breaking for this situation too, you know. And I think she was really like looking, she needed a friend and she was looking for support. I think she's living there with her father. It's the dad's house.
Do you know where they live?
They live
on-
no, I can tell you.
It's no big deal.
There.
It's
They
all
live
right.
in Huntington.
Huntington Park? Or
Yeah.
Huntington Park.
Meadow-
No,
Hunting Meadows?
Hunting Meadows.
Yeah.
Right off of Drake
Yeah.
and Pearl. And I don't know why I can't think of the name of the street right now. If I looked at a map, I'd know it. But
No big
deal.
anyways, there was some cough syrup that she found
Well,
in the
and
house.
so as through this conversation we're talking, and I feel like a big piece for me is like I deal with this kind of stuff, you know, I mean, I have a doctorate in pharmacology, you know, so like a lot of parents are pretty naive about a lot of this stuff, and I am not, like, I'm not at all, and you know, so she was asking me questions, like, well, what's this that I saw, or what's that? And,
she had pictures of some stuff.
and
that
one
was
of the
showing
things
us,
she
too.
showed me was a picture of a bottle of syrup. It was a prescription bottle of promethazine. There was no codeine in it. It was plain promethazine. But I was like, "You found that in Joey's room?" And she said, "Yeah, I took it." And I was like, "That is extremely concerning. Extremely concerning, because I don't know what they're mixing with that. And if they're dabbling in narcotics and opioids, you need to get your son help right away." I'm not judging you for what you have done at your home. These are your decisions. I'm not, you know, like, this is not going to happen in my home. I'll tell you that. Like, that's why they're not coming here. But it was very concerning. She had talked about maybe some edibles that she thought maybe they were making, and some, you know, marijuana. And I know, here's the thing though, because of this whole legalize and medical marijuana, like, just political climate that we're in, there's a lot of adults out there, parents that are like, "Oh, it's just marijuana. It's just marijuana." And maybe that's not how I feel about it, because especially for teens, I it can very often become a gateway. And so some of the things she was telling me, like I believe there were some resins there, like, you know, and these vape oils, you know, and they're so high potency, and I'm trying to educate her. Like, I am treating patients that due to, you know, excessive marijuana use are now having schizoaffective disorder problems. They were sent to like a mental hospital and an ER. And these are things that I am literally seeing in medical journals, substantiated with a lot of evidence. And it's not just that, it's just the high THC that is in this stuff. It's not the marijuana of the youth of your dad who is remembering this. That was like 4 to 7% THC, maybe 9 at the most. This stuff's like 98, 99%. It's 1% away from Schedule 1, you know, completely illegal across the entire country. And what is so frustrating to me as a professional as well with these companies is that they find a way around the laws over and over and over, and they keep coming out with a new Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta blah, blah, blah. And it's all to get around laws, in my opinion. So, yes, so there is Joey. And then once we found that out, I was like, well, to be honest, I'm not so sure I want Davion staying at Joey's.
Right.
And quite frankly, she contacted us the next day and said, it's not going to work out. Because I think through her conversation with me and some of the things that she was telling me, I think because she was like, this needs to change, you know, like I can't, this isn't going to go on, you know. And so I hope that happened. I don't know. But I felt like she really didn't have much of a support system, and that she was looking for, I mean, she's reached out to me multiple times, like she needs a friend. And she was overwhelmed. Is how I felt.
So
Joey.
And then we
Joey
have
Brooks.
Landon Turner.
Landon Turner.
What do you know about Landon?
Landon is a football player who has a scholarship to go play at Marietta College in Southern Ohio. Landon is where Davion stayed for 3 months when he left the house and decided that he wasn't going to live by our rules.
Yeah, he couch surfed for a while, and then he landed at Landon's house.
Landon, I think, might smoke occasionally.
I don't know that he does anymore.
And maybe not anymore. Is just football starting up again?
Drinker? Yeah, underage drinker, I would say.
Yeah. But he was at the football team, so he was a really good friend of Davion's.
I mean,
Husni,
he's
I don't know Husni's last name. I'm sorry, I don't.
I have it.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so Husni,
He actually reached out to us. He was
Okay.
one
Yeah.
of the first people to reach out.
And Husni has worked with Davion like as a manager in various different places, like Chipotle, Papa John's, and even before that, maybe at Five Guys. Yeah, so like they've kind of followed each other. They've had they're
like brothers.
They're like brothers. They fight like
They
brothers.
fight like
sometimes.
brothers, and they hang out like brothers.
Like-
and love each other like
and
brothers.
Husni will, and I've seen it, you know, like he will call him out in love, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
as a
Husni was
friend.
probably, from a parental standpoint, the best friend that Davion could have had
Yeah.
because he would call Davion out on his crap. The stuff that he would say was
No,
true.
and
that just
Husni's
wasn't.
probably not. He's a kid
Yeah,
himself
yeah,
too.
yeah. But that's
and then
that's
the
a really good
neighbor,
friend, Kyle Harper,
which
was
I don't know.
lifelong friend of Davion.
Yeah.
He met him literally, I think, the day we moved in or the day after we moved in.
Yeah.
He became friends when we moved to Strongsville.
And Husni is very good friends with him, as is Yosef, which I don't know very well.
And I don't know Yosef's last name either.
But Husni and Kyle Harper were the two that were involved in
Put them together.
Harper.
Harper.
HARPER. They live right next door to us. So we're the first house on the corner, they're the next
There's a
one.
second.
And they were the two that organized
The vigil.
one of the very large vigils that was held
At the crash site.
An incredible
That,
job. It was really
awesome.
It was really good. The thing is, Davion was close to so many people.
I just wanted to
Joe Kingston. I don't know if we mentioned him.
That's what I was saying, and you told me no.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Joe Kingston, he was close to for a long time.
And
He might not have been super close to him the last
right
couple
this
months,
second,
but certainly within the last 6 months, they were best friends and
Yeah.
hanging out all the time.
and he had been at Joe's during various times when he had maybe, couch surfed or, and also, I mean, there's this Yosef that he was really close to who was involved in the vigil. I don't know what a lot of these kids like.
Right, and we can find out. So the reason I'm asking you is I want to kind of establish a baseline of if those names come up. I want to be able to say, well, yeah, that name's come up before. Somebody I should probably talk. I'm not telling you I'm going to talk to anybody yet.
Okay.
I just kind of want to build that pool of names of who's close, who's not.
There were a lot of girls on the periphery too.
Yeah. Hope Bedenik.
Bedenik. Now she organized a GoFundMe for him right away, but there's also, there's drama in all of this. And depending every friend, it seems like, there's an opinion about the other, just even, I can't even imagine what you're dealing with. We're trying to sift through the truth.
Yeah, Hope was a really close friend to him and Joe Kingston. The three of them would hang out, this was about 6 months ago, would hang out every day.
And they actually, Hope has been to our home before, and so has Joe Kingston. That was one of the groups that like they would come over, but not that often. But, they were over there in our basement. We've got cameras literally there too, because I just
we have teenage daughters. There's no way we're not going to have
and a son too.
And a son,
and they know, and they're like, why do we have to have all this? I said, well, you tell me. History.
If you're not doing anything wrong, the camera shouldn't matter, should they?
Right. History has told me I might need these, so they're there to keep us
Those
all
are
honest.
probably at least a starter list of friends. I'm sure there's others he was close to because he didn't talk to us all the time about his friends. He was kind of closed off about that a bit with his parents there. When he brought Hope over, he brought Joe over, like, hi, how you doing? A friend of Davion, we're so excited to meet you.
There was
it just didn't happen a lot.
There was no girlfriend that we were aware of at this time, or significant girlfriend.
But he liked Hope a lot.
He liked Hope, but Davion just,
he was looking for love. He wanted to be loved. That was one of the sad things about, he never had that one person that just, he fell in love with and he stuck with for a while. He never had that opportunity. I'm sure mistakes that he made himself during his high school career and just.
But even in general, I felt like from a very young age, he's got, a mother wound.
Right.
And, I try to fill that as much as I can. But also, I was always worried, honey, we gotta talk about this in counseling. This is gonna affect your relationships. You're not going to find this perfect person that's going to fix everything in your life. They're going to disappoint you at times. He was just such a great kid.
He was. He had flaws like everyone does, but he had a really good heart.
Such a good heart. To his detriment. He would put himself in situations where he is trying to help these friends of his, and where I've had conversations, I'm like, David, I know you're not helping them. I understand you're giving them a safe ride home. Okay, that's admirable, and that's great. But
that was one of his.
But you also are driving minors around who are underage drunk. Maybe they don't have things in your car, thank God, and you didn't allow that. But you're putting yourself in harm's way and in situations that you can get in trouble for. Out of your love for them, but to be honest, your love is you're enabling them.
Yeah, right.
You're enabling.
You want to help those kids? Call their parents. Have them call their parents and pick them up. You don't go get, as an 18-year-old at the time, you don't go get 4 underage minors who have been out drinking all night and drive them home at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night. You just don't put yourself out there like that. That is dangerous. He got pulled over.
Well,
he got 4 counts of
illegally.
Well, he did, but he got.
I think it might have. It might be.
Well, he got arrested. He spent the night in jail.
He did.
He got
because he was the only adult.
He was charged with 4 counts of child
endangerment. Child.
Contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
And it got
dropped because there was no proof. He didn't give them the alcohol. He was just trying to get them home. But it's just
he was
another
also,
case of
he had them out.
Putting himself in a bad situation.
But that was his heart.
It was his heart.
And his heart was for people that were hurting.
Yeah.
And I would ask him, I would say, honey, why are you hanging out with this crowd? And he said, people that are hurting, they get me. And I get them. It's these kids that, maybe they haven't had the best home life, or maybe they did. I have no idea. Do you know what I mean? I don't know their situations,
Right.
but he was a friend to all. Like, he didn't discriminate in a way.
Right. He was friends with football players. He was friends with cheerleaders. He was friends with drug dealers. He was friends with
and
a
I was
large
so
group
like,
of people.
what are you doing? He's like, Mom, I'm helping them. I'm like, no, you're not helping them. Like, you think you're helping them, but helping them is getting them real help, like with an adult, with someone that can, help them
change
their life. Like, not, and that was a hard thing because he was hard-headed, and he said, you don't understand, I'm helping my friend.
Yeah.
So, this is kind of like a tale of two cities,
Yes.
It's like you hear the very, very positive and then see the tragic end. And,
It's awful.
And, I'm really sorry for his loss. The more I hear now, the more it's like, wow, this is a kid with a lot of potential.
It really is. He's very talented and very kind and smart. I mean, if you look at his high school transcript, you might not think that sometimes, but whatever that kid put his mind to,
He was good at it.
He could do it.
Not everybody's book smart doesn't mean smart.
Exactly.
If he's good with his hands and he's a good barber and taking things apart, putting things together.
Yeah.
That's very
And,
good too.
and there's
He was
also,
mechanically smart,
like,
kind of like that.
as a parent, I felt this, like, anxiety of this, I see these choices and, that we're
She
trying
describes
to,
it as a snowball rolling down the hill that we
like
just
an avalanche,
couldn't,
that
we
I
couldn't
couldn't,
stop.
I saw it coming, and
We
I
tried,
saw the
but we
choices, and I
couldn't
kept
stop
saying,
it.
honey, like, I mean, I have texts that say, like, like, I'm concerned about your behavior and like the outcome of what that could have for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're scared. We're worried. And he,
But we were just overreacting. Parents.
of course,
From his perspective.
of course, we were just overreacting. But like, it's just I don't know. He really did have so much potential, and he gave so much of himself for friends and for family, and like the other thing, I think this was where I was going when I got distracted again, I'm so sorry, was that he I'm so tired.
We're done here.
Okay, he's done, honey. I think we're good.
No,
or you
but
got one last thing you want to say?
no, there is something important that I wanted to say, that he where was I again?
We were
Walk me
talking.
back.
Yeah, okay. We were talking about how he was a friend to others to his detriment. That he thought he was helping them, but really wasn't helping them. That it was a snowball rolling down the hill, and we tried to stop it, but we couldn't. And those are the things that we said in the last few minutes. I don't know if you're going to find it again or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, because literally I
It's okay.
We're going to have other conversations.
But,
We
with
will.
the
Yeah,
detective.
he just.
Did we get through all your questions? Or?
You did.
Okay.
Like I said, I just wanted to establish that baseline, get to know
Okay.
what
He was a wonderfully beautiful flawed
And
human
I
being.
would try, yes, and I would try to tell him,
Just
I
like we
was
all
like,
are.
honey, these
Yeah.
people, like, that you're driving around, and those kids got in trouble. Otherwise, I would have been calling. Do you know what I mean? That was handled. Their parents were notified, and that's just because that's who we are. But I said, that just these kids, honey, like, they're not. I'm not sure they're true friends, because they don't have your best interest in mind.
Yeah.
Like, a true friend wouldn't call you out to drive them around like that, and put you in that position, or, and it's one thing to, like, rescue someone once and to, get them out of this bad situation, but these are kids that are continually doing these things, and
every night of the week.
that's not a friend. That's a friend that's selfish.
Yeah.
So as we move on from here, we're going to have another conversation.
Okay.
Obviously, it doesn't have to be in this setting.
Yeah.
Over the next 2 weeks.
I thought of it. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I have to tell you before
Go
I
ahead.
forget.
Thought we were done, but we're not.
And over the last, like, I would say, I don't know, even pre-pandemic, like, Davion, we used to kind of joke a little bit, like, the kid's got 9 lives. He lands on his feet all the time. And we are like, and I'm thankful, but at the same time, like, you know,
his parents be like, we want him to be held accountable. Like, sometimes, like, he kept getting off of things.
The school is like letting him off the hook. I'm sure he's like, you know, he's a charming, cute football player. You know what I mean? And I'm getting these emails from teachers, and I'm like, hold him accountable. And they're like, then they'll say things like, one of the teachers will gush, like, oh, he actually came to class today and he did his work, and he's such a well-spoken young man. And I'm thinking, sweetheart,
he's playing you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Hold my kid accountable. And so over the last several years, and some of it was due to the pandemic, and even from like a school standpoint, you know, kids weren't being held accountable as highly because this is awful, and no one's grades are what they should be or their effort, you know. But some of the things, it was like, you know, like he wasn't giving his schooling the attention that I knew he could. And there was a time when we had talked, and I had said, honey, like, he could figure, this is how smart he was. He could figure out, like, to the 10th or 100th of a, you know, percentage point, the amount of work he needed to do to get the grade he wanted, or to pass.
If he needed like a D in the class to pass, he would know what it was like to get a 59.6, so it rounded up to 60. It was incredible. Like, I need to get exactly this in the test.
I'm like,
if you spent that much effort actually on homework instead of calculating your...
Yes. I mean, it's brilliant, but buddy, like, I'm like, you're hurting yourself here, you know. And he, you know, we would talk, and I'd be like, you know, babe, like, you're gambling. You know, like, you're putting a lot on, oh, I can pull it through at the end, or I can, and it worked for him so many times. And there were so many times that I told him, when the pandemic hit, like, original plan, because I'm like, we went back and forth, like, this is such an argument in the house all the time. We have to hands off, like, we're not going to be here forever. We need to let natural consequences happen with the school or whatever. Well, then, the school's not holding them accountable. The school is wonderful, don't get me wrong, you know, but we're like, okay, come on, someone else needs to have this conversation and speak into our kid's life. And you know, there was a time period where I'm like, you're gonna lose your seat on the team due to grades. You're not gonna make the academic requirements, you know. And he's like, oh, no, I have this time, I'll pull through. And then the pandemic hit, and school got shut down. And there was a time period where the school had said, we're going to close it here and we're going to take the grades as they stand. And I knew that meant he wasn't going to make the team, and so did Davion. Like, I actually saw a tear out of his eye, and Davion did not cry in front of me or us often. And I said, honey, I'm so sorry, but, you know, I keep telling you, when you gamble, sometimes you're going to get away with it, sometimes you're going to win big, and sometimes you're going to lose it all. And just situations in his life just kept coming up. And so every little thing that had happened over the last few months, like that situation where he was arrested for the night, you know, and held, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the thing that gets him back on track. Right. You know, this is going to be the thing. This is going to be the thing. And we were so close to out of the weeds that it just hurts my heart. And I don't know. You know, yes, my son stepped into the back of that car that night, and he took one too many gambles. I don't know who or where, what is decided that time my son is going to roll snake eyes. I don't know, you know, but he would still be alive today if it wasn't for that driver.
And like I said, this is what we're going to piece together.
Yeah.
For the court to look at. Ultimately, the prosecutor decides what and how it goes from here, what charges and all that. And ultimately, you know, my job is to paint this big mosaic here, and it's taking all the pieces. And obviously, this time we spent together this evening is a big piece, and that's going to help me.
Yeah.
When I start talking to the other people. But this will not be the last conversation.
Right.
We will have another conversation, especially once I've finished my interviews and now I have some, hey, I heard this. Do you know anything about that? Hey, have you heard this name? And you know, I don't know what's going to come out of those interviews. I really don't.
Right.
But I just want to, like I said, Fridays, give or take around noon, I will be
And we'll make ourselves available to you anytime you need
Thank you.
to follow up once you have your interviews completed. Just let us know.
Yeah, and I don't know if, like, my daughter will want to speak to you, Divine.
That's
She's
up to her.
17 and a half, but even just to share some of her conversations or things
She
that she
knows
had
his
in the
friend
bed.
group
She knows
And-
them
much better
better
than we
we
do.
do.
And I don't want to, I don't want to compel anyone to do that.
I think she would
because
in a heartbeat, to
She-
be honest.
Probably wants to.
because there's always if it goes in my report,
Exactly.
they could potentially now be somebody that
Needs to go
if we
on
go
the
to
stand.
trial,
I
now the
understand.
defense might want to talk to
Yeah,
her.
and I
so
want- I wanna protect
so
her,
I don't
too.
know that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But if she wants, I wouldn't call it an off the record.
Yeah.
Which one you show?
It's
Christmas.
Christmas.
Oh, with the dog too, who
Yeah.
But if she
Davion
has
alone.
questions that I could potentially answer for her, if she has any, I would say not curiosity, but wants to know what the process is like and how things are going, I'm more than happy to make
And
myself available.
Thank you. And we're having a lot of conversations at home, and we're trying to, she already has a counselor that she had been set up with. All of us are really,
In counseling.
so she's working through things, and I think she trusts us, and that's a blessing. I think, she knows that we want what's best for her brother and what's best for her and her sister. Like she knows that in her deep down knower. So.
Well,
Okay.
like I said, at this point, we're at the very, 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 very beginning
Right.
of this, and this will take a very long time. So
Okay.
all I'm just
We'll
going to
prepare
ask
ourselves
for
for that.
is just your patience,
Yeah.
please. You're going to hear rumors because rumors just don't stop.
Right.
I cannot share everything,
Yeah.
Right.
but whatever I can share without compromising my investigation, I
Of
will.
course.
Not that I don't trust you, but some things
Of course.
are
This
not.
was the first summer they were with us.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
Scott's dad,
So
who
young.
is deceased now. He lived with us for 10 years before he passed, but
So
I can't help. I'm just
no,
I'm a
it's
proud mother,
it's
and
you will get an opportunity at some point to write the judge or
okay.
write the prosecutor, and what I ultimately it's your decision, but I'm going to reach out to the prosecutor, let him know we had this meeting, and to like I said, he was waiting for me to tell him when you're back in town for him. He didn't want to intrude, so I'll reach out to him, let him know.
Okay. I also got a call on my voicemail earlier today from a number I didn't recognize, which could have very well been
It
his
could have
office.
been.
Contact
His name
me.
is Tim.
Okay.
Tim Troop.
Yes.
TROUP. Like I said,
Yes, we have that. I think we have his number too.
yes,
But
very good
we've
guy.
just been in meetings all day.
and I understand. And
Yeah.
and so at this point, thank you very much for coming down here, and we'll be in contact.
Pass the split, this stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. I never wanna get in this car again. You can never heal these scars again. Pass the split, this stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. I never wanna get in this car again. You can never heal these scars again. Papa Steve with the man, listen, yeah, Kenzie, better get your ass in that damn kitchen, cooking for the inmates, and you really need to pay attention. Yeah, you really think you gon' get out, you can keep wishing. Yeah, them bitches, once you dead, they going on a mission. She doing Kegels in the cell, yeah, she's in position. She ain't got the proper products, yeah, she smelling fishy. Them homemade dildos, yeah, they hitting different. It's okay that you gay now. I heard you doing crochet now. You on the yard from the playground. You gonna stand up or you gonna lay down? Pass the spliff. This stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. Pass the spliff. This stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. I'm never gonna go in this car again. This stupid ass bitch can heal these scars again. I'm smoking so much Kenzie, I'm in Mars again. I'm never gonna get involved again. This little ass bitch won't evolve in the end. she will never ever drive a car again. Her parents gonna be long and gone by then.
Hi, I'm Steve Scirola. I'm the art teacher here at Mary Queen of Peace.
This is Mackenzie Sharilla's father, an art teacher. While his daughter sits in prison for taking lives, he continues on as if nothing happened. We're on his bumper, bringing that pressure, because he hasn't acknowledged the victims the way he should. The families of Dom and Davion deserve better than silence.
Because how can I feel bad that these two boys died and feel grief with these families and then be absolutely overjoyed that my kid is alive? Show me one piece of evidence, one, that says she did this on purpose. Show it to me. Here it is. That's it. Then she's right where she belongs, and she's guilty of it. But there isn't any.
Okay, Mackenzie's dad, Steve, the other Papa Steve, right? Now, I had to go digging to find this video, but when I found it, it seems like a normal video that a teacher just got a new classroom and he's introducing himself to the school. But then, if you think about everything that's happened now, this video gets weird, and you'll see why. First, he talks about how he gets these little Emmys and that he's married and he has 2 daughters, right? But then he gets into his hobbies, and that's where you guys need to listen very close, and you get why Mackenzie likes to go fast.
I race slot cars. I collect comic books. I race slot cars. I collect comic books. I collect Hot Wheels. I'm a 12-year-old at heart. So, which makes me, I guess, good with all your kids. Makes me, I guess, good with all your kids.
Is it a coincidence, or did Papa Steve 2 really groom Mackenzie into driving fast all the time? He even says he's a 12-year-old kid by heart. I ain't gonna lie, he gives me weird vibes, like Stephen Sturm vibes. I'm not trying to put anything on him, but I'm just saying he's giving me weird vibes. Anyways, y'all, let's get straight to the call. Ronnie Blue Eyes, DVS stuck in the system. This is the YouTube Streets.
YouTube Streets in the building. Ronnie Blue Eyes, DVS, stuck in the system, Scandalous Squad. We're here, back again, with Mackenzie Schiller and her mother talking about victim's family. Now, we know this little girl has no remorse, no soul, no empathy when it comes to anything to do with this crime and everything that she has done. But, Ronnie, I'm here. I'm invested. and I want to see what's coming along in these calls, and maybe she could make me dislike her a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you, and I'm here with you, bro. I gotta tell you the truth. I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see what direction this one goes into. You know,
Yeah, so fuck it. Let's get right into it.
YouTube streets. Yeah.
It's the whole family is just I can't get with it because oh my gosh, we just spent every day with them. And the things they said to you personally and sending messages of love and kindness and support and everybody. I don't get it.
They would like fight for me and shit. Like
Yes, I don't get it.
like what the
We
fuck?
love you. You're safe with us. You'll always be part of our family. I don't get it. I don't get it.
All right, I'm going to stop it right here because what is there not to get after everything has been said and done? The behavior and the pattern that she exhibited doesn't lie. She can say that there was a malfunction with the vehicle. She can say she had some sort of medical issue, but everything that led up to the actual incident shows and proves that you had intent. And it just so happens that you survived. So this is bullshit.
Yeah,
So the
yeah. I was
moms,
just gonna go ahead.
the moms is just enabling and trying to keep her cool, keep her on ice, just while she's sitting on that in that hot seat.
Yep, trying to keep her cool, calm, and collected. But you can hear it. It comes out once in a while. Like she'll be talking about something, and she'll just come out like almost hood with it. I don't want to say hood, but she'll be like, I can't get with it type shit. Like, damn, the mom's on some real devious, scandalous shit. You feel me? She's on some other shit though.
No,
Shiesty.
she's definitely in a shiesty mentality. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
That's a level of evil I will never, ever, ever understand. Because why? They didn't have to do all that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Or they could have just not even said nothing and then just like they could have been on our side or some shit, but no, they just want to be weird.
Yo, this is crazy, bro. This chick took
They not
two
said nothing.
lives, two individuals' lives. And she's
How-
talking about, oh, their family shouldn't have nothing to say. What? Yo, get the fuck out of here. How ignorant and naive and evil can
Where's
you
the
be?
kid?
And they're calling them evil? Like,
Where's the
yo,
kids
this.
that iPad babies? Because this is sick. If there's kids out there right now that haven't committed any kind of atrocities,
Right.
Because of the effect of the iPad, there should be a case study of what might make them fucking crack. Because there's something that made this little girl fucking crack and crash into a wall and say, you know what, game over. I want to start over. Well, you got your start over. You woke up, and this is where you're at, lady.
Right. Like you didn't have to invite us into your home and your heart and say those things. Like that was.
But yo, hold up. This is crazy. You didn't have to let us in, but they did. They had hearts big enough to open their home to you, and this is the thanks they get. And then you still continue to talk shit after the events that took place. It's just
Well, I think they're
crazy.
going off the fact that they flipped the script once the DA and the prosecutors set them down and let them know, hey, this girl Mackenzie, man, she's not the girl that you think she is. This is what we have. Unfortunately, this was no accident.
This accident was no accident, right?
And then that's when they realized, you know what? Instead of us being irate and immature about the situation, we're going to have to give them as much, throw off the whole, feelings of being, informed about their child being intentionally murdered, right? Because that's what the fuck it was.
Because they'll never get to speak to their loved ones again, but they're up here chopping it up, cutting the bullshit and talking shit. Like,
so they had to play along and let them believe that, everything was,
copacetic and kosher. Yeah, facts.
So the fact that they were thrown off and they did it so well, it's like, how do you not understand? And the mother really she gets me, man, because you know your daughter better than anybody else, and you're helping her lie and keep on that mask. And I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Because if anything, in certain states, parents are responsible for their child's actions. I know she was only 17, but still, some people are going to jail and getting fines and all kinds of crazy shit for their kids doing stupid shit. So I don't know. This is this is almost in a scenario where she's kind of what created this monster. So why the fuck
Right.
shouldn't she be in a situation where she should be learning a lesson as well?
And you
I'm
know what
just
it
saying.
is? You know what it is, DVS, bro? She don't take any accountability either. So the daughter, she don't take no accountability for taking 2 lives, right? And then the mother, she takes no accountability for the daughter. You know what I mean? That shit's crazy.
Well, I think she does that intentionally to forget about the situation and
Oh
how
yeah.
bad her parenting really is. Because if she was to even sit down and just reflect a little bit on,
Digest. Yeah,
you know,
she deflects instead of
am I a good
deflects.
parent? Did I
Right.
have anything that, contributed to this? Was there
Right.
something that I did?
Yep.
She should be asking that. But if she was to ask herself that, and she really was to
She
have
wouldn't
a
like the
sense of
answers.
clarity, she'd be fucked up, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people need to take a long look in the mirror, man. You know?
Absolutely, man. Get to know thyself.
Crazy psycho level. That's crazy.
Yeah.
As always, shout out to
I'm
Focus
so
in prison.
tired.
I bet. Pathetic is just when when you're in your room for
See, her mother tries to keep her cool, calm, and collective. Like it's
Docile. Yep. Yep.
see that yawn. That goes back to that body language thing. She's
Mm-hmm.
she's she's trying to give her a sense of calmness
Confident. Yep.
by
Right.
yawning. It's
Yep.
kind of like, yeah, go to sleep, my baby.
Nonchalantly type shit. Right.
Go to sleep, baby.
That
Good baby.
rockabye shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rockabye baby shit.
a while maybe get to sleep. So, Lincoln's party, there was a huge thunderstorm and a tornado warning right in the middle of the party.
Of course.
I know, but they still ended up having fun.
Oh, you went?
Oh. No, I was working. Remember, I had to make up my hours. But the kids just were playing in the puddles and they were playing basketball and rain and stuff. So,
Oh, he's like at the basketball age now.
oh my God, yes, he's been obsessed.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I wish that Dom would have loved to play basketball with him.
I think it's sick that she keeps on mentioning Dom. Like the fact
Yeah.
that it's almost like she's trying to send a signal like of fake compassion out to the universe to try to get some sympathy. And listen, I'm not fucking going for this shit.
Subconsciously, her ego won't let her do it straight up, straightforward, but subconsciously, sometimes I see where you're going with that. Like,
I think
it
she's trying
comes
to
out in
still
a way.
trying to woo whoever is
Yeah.
listening, whoever make
Yeah.
the listening gods, let's call them, right?
Right.
Whether it's CEO, DA, or a fucking county clerk, they're listening, and she knows somebody's listening. So she's trying to have a little bit of compassion, but it's not real. I don't feel it. It's not genuine. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. The lying to yourself to the point where you believe it is sickening.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they would have had so much fun. So much fun.
That's so sad.
Fine.
And I know you were about to say something, Marty, but the fact that the mother keeps on going with it, it's almost like she's coaching a child. Like she's still stuck in coaching a child, like parenting 1-on-1, man. You know, it's like you're stuck in phase 1. You never got past whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah. And the mother, right? So listen, the mother and the daughter, right? Mackenzie and the moms, they need to hope and pray that, because I'm assuming they're speaking about her little brother, right? The other son, if you will, the other child. They better hope and pray that he never comes across a woman as evil as Mackenzie, in the future.
I would hope not, man. I think I hate to say it, man.
Yeah, I don't wish that shit on no one.
She's like 1 in a million, and not in a good way.
Right.
No.
I had so much fun playing with the kids with Dom.
I know, baby.
Yo, she goes into having a family with Dom and talking about having kids, bro. It's a wrap. I'm out of here, bro. This bitch is sick.
Yeah, tomorrow should be my last day in my room.
Oh, right. And then what happened?
She yawned that shit off. She yawned Dom off. And then
Yo,
they
good
talking about
shit.
the room, man. What the fuck is that?
Because the fact that you keep bringing up the yawns, they ain't even real yawns. They're more like, fake yawns, like
Soothing techniques.
fillers. Yeah, exactly. That rockabye baby shit. They're fillers.
I come out with general population. They stay in their room a long time though, because like we have so many like people who have to come out like at different times. Like
They're still on the 7th floor.
yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I get moved though. I don't know though.
I don't know. If you don't, it's really okay. I like that you're
No.
being protected.
I don't like that. I don't really care
I know
what
it.
you think. I know what I think and what I
I know.
would make my time easy.
I
Oh,
understand. I'm saying
shit.
I'm
Yo,
okay either way.
see, that
That's
just
that
goes to
bad
show
girl
you
shit.
right there that she's in charge. Like, she's wearing the pants over here. Like, when it
Well,
comes
to
to
an
the mother, the
extent,
father, you know what I
to
mean? The
an
daughter. Yeah, she's up here trying to punk them. I was like, I don't care what you think. It's about me. It's all about me. It's
well, when it
always been about me.
when it comes to the jail shit, she's bidding. She's on bid mode.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what you call bidding. She wants to find the most easiest, comfortable place to rest her head and
Yeah.
let either time do her or her do the time. So she's kind of like in bid mode. She's learning, but she uses her mother as an emotional home base crutch, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, she's able to keep that energy that she has because her
Right.
mother keeps on feeding her
That safety net. Yeah, it's like her comfort blanket. You know what
and
I mean?
reassuring her and
Exactly.
subconsciously reminding her of this is what she has to be because this is who she says she is. You know what I mean? This is
Right,
who she's
right.
been all these years, right? So now it's time to spread your wings, little birdie, and this is what she wants to do. But like I said, the mother is the emotional crutch that keeps her this way.
Yeah. So
Well
do you
said.
ever get a call back or no?
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, but the girl, like, I can't deal with her ass. Like, I really can't deal with her. Like, I'm going to freak out. Like, I don't know why they put me with like Spisa Shizo Pizza Bizo. Like, is it me that music create easy?
Can you move your room?
No,
Like same floor, different room?
no, like, no. I'm so irritated. Like, I like hate her so much. Like, I literally fucking hate her. Like, so goddamn much.
Hey, hold on. Say hi to Daddy. Marla.
Uh-oh.
I think she was talking about that CO that's got it out for her.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought she
she
was referring to like an older inmate that she was calling crazy and, emotionally distraught and she can't stand her and shit. She was basically trashing somebody.
no,
But
she
the
definitely
father's
was.
about to speak. This shit's gonna get interesting because we gotta remember he's been keeping his mouth shut for the most part, or they've been keeping a muzzle on him, I
No,
should say.
the moms has been keeping him shut because
Yeah.
he doesn't have any say so anyways. They fucking talk different languages in front of him. He's
Yeah.
a fucking bitch. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the fuck that is.
Hey,
Hold on a
Dad.
second. Say hi to Daddy.
Hey,
Hey,
Dad.
baby.
Hey.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I just
What's the
woke up.
matter?
Oh, okay.
I got no sleep.
Why?
Because the bitch in the room right behind you just talks to herself all night and like is loud all night and it's so like she does not sleep ever.
I'm sorry, Pumpkin.
I don't like her.
No, well, I'm sorry.
Yes, I
Hopefully
need to get off.
No.
This floor is
We'll
shitty.
see.
I need to get off this floor.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, we're gonna find out tomorrow. So, I mean, one more night.
Yo, hold up, bro, real
Hopefully.
quick, right? You notice how he keeps saying, well, it's almost like a hidden jab, like, well, you put yourself there, you gotta deal with it. Nothing you can do about it. Well, it is what it is type shit.
Well, I think that's has been his movement, the whole
Yeah,
movement
like a
he's been with the wife. But
subliminal
not
jab.
he's I guess he's just submissive, man. He's submissive in a sense to the point where he's content with, I'm just here for the ride. I do what this bitch tells me, and I'm just
Facts.
watching. I'm watching the poisonous fruit grow from the poisonous tree over here.
Streets and streets.
Yeah, I'm nervous for tomorrow.
Yeah, me too, Pumpkin. I'm
Are you
angry.
coming tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing will keep me away.
Get all my friends and people to come tomorrow.
Whoa.
We'll do the best we can,
He
Pump.
said,
Alright, I love you so much, Dad.
I love you too, Pump. I do. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm angry for you.
Still robotic, man.
Yeah.
I'm really angry for you.
Yeah, this is shitty. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're getting a bad deal, baby. That's okay. I mean, you know how this is. I mean, the Strungsville detective, he's an idiot. The prosecutors must be a election year for him. I mean, they're screwing you.
Yo, bro, they are way too deep into the fucking prison culture, bro, and politics attached to the prison culture, because that right there that's a thing. So election years and you know, when there's elections happening, for whatever reason, the police are on a fucking quota mission. So you know, for you to, and that's more so for misdemeanors and fucking bullshit sales and steering and all that fuck shit. But for this shit right here, you did what you did, bitch. This is not we're trying to meet quotas here. The fuck are they talking about, bro?
Yeah.
They're just going off of shit they heard. It's an election year. And
this dude's up here talking about how angry he is. What the fuck? How do you think the people feel? The victims' families feel?
He doesn't even sound angry, Ronnie. He sounds robotic.
Not at all. Yeah.
I mean, they had you on an OMV and they didn't do it. This is wrong. I mean, it's fucking irresponsible.
Whoa, yo.
You should be after her. You're fucking irresponsible.
This is crazy.
That same energy he should be telling her little ass. You're fucking irresponsible. Same energy. Just, directing it where it needs to fucking go. Squeeze your nuts, man. Be a father.
Yep. She's irresponsibly responsible for this shit.
At least the first one. Well, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I gotta go because I'm gonna say something and it's gonna make someone's feelings hurt. Okay? All right, bye.
I love you so much, Dad.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, she's got him on a fucking leash. She's got him on a leash. On a fucking leash, son.
Yeah.
I love you so much, Dad. You were gonna say something crazy, just like Mom.
Yeah. They putting the muzzle back on. Yep.
Put the fucking muzzle back on, you fucking dweeb.
You pumpkin.
I'll talk to you later. Bye, Dad.
Hey.
He got his balls clipped.
Oh my goodness.
No, sometimes she hands him back to him and she lets him hold them in his hand.
Yeah.
She takes him back and puts him back.
Oh yeah, but she nuded them shits. But then
she still has it. She hands it back every once in a while. She lets him hold them.
Lets him use them once in a while.
Remember what it feels like when she takes him back, puts him in a.
At her convenience, you know what I mean? At her convenience type shit.
I'm so annoyed. I cannot believe that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the most annoying shit ever.
Last night?
Yes,
But I just want to be clear. Daddy was not talking about this judge. He was talking about the other one. But the other one even did really good things. And he doesn't know. He's just her. You know that, right?
I don't.
Clean up squad. Clean up aisle 6. Clean up aisle 6.
She don't give a fuck.
His opinion has nothing to do with me. That's just what he thinks.
Right. Well, I'm trying to get money.
Why?
Yo, the fucking judge's opinion matters the most. What the fuck are you talking about? What? This is delusion at its finest. There is a disconnect with reality. The iPad has done a disservice. The algorithms have really and truly created monsters, man.
And bro, real quick to add to that, right? Sometimes, people yawn when they're tired or they're trying to get oxygen or cool down or whatever, but there's other reasons like increasing, alertness, like being more alert. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hearing when they're doing this shit, like clearing their lungs, like clearing your throat before you do a podcast or a rap type shit.
You hear?
Oh, I have 3 video calls today, but it doesn't actually. I was wrong. It doesn't say who.
Oh my gosh, you have 3?
Yeah, I have one at 9, one at 7, and one at 7:30.
Oh. Okay, so those might be all. No. 7:30. Those might all be me. Because they're all stuff is pending. Yeah.
Did you ever ask Jim about all my stuff at that downtown? Can you just try to pick it up?
No, hey, we just talked about that yesterday, remember?
Yo, you ain't getting your shit.
I know you said they brought it up in court, which they did, but that doesn't mean.
No, I haven't said anything. No, you asked me about it yesterday.
Yo, hold on
On
right
the
quick,
phone.
right? That's
Then
all she's concerned with is herself. And we'll run it back 10 seconds so the chat gets everything. But listen, they should put all your shit in the backyard and fucking burn it. Straight up. They ain't giving you shit. You ain't getting shit
Brought it
back.
up in court, which they did, but that doesn't mean.
No, I haven't said anything. No, you asked me about it yesterday on the phone. Not yet. But I'll get figured out, honey.
You know what would be so bad? How I told Angela, I was like, hey, can you please put a picture of me, like me and Dom in his casket? And the fucking was like, did you do that? And Angela was like, I did not.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy. No remorse, but she's trying to portray remorse. So, like, that's crazy. Remorseful.
Oh.
Like, what is wrong?
It's almost like serial killer-ish. I just want
Oh,
to,
the vibes is crazy. The vibes is crazy.
Did you put a picture of? Of course, that person is gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Wrong with them? Like, first of all, Dom didn't even like you. First of all, so I don't know why the fuck he's like everyone that like Dom didn't even fuck with that much. Is like acting like a protector of like his mom, like weird as fuck. Like,
well, he didn't respond, so that should have been the first time that was not going to happen, which
that
sucks.
just pissed me off so bad. I just been thinking about everything that they said. Like now it's just like starting to like come to me like what was said and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, people are literally like evil as fuck. Like,
yes, they are. Well, they're hurt too, which is making it worse.
That's what I'm saying. They're hurt, but it's just like weird. Like, and like it's just like I've been. Cheese and we don't need to feed our cheese and we don't need to feed us. We just need to feed us.
It's the whole family is just I can't get with
Yo,
it.
this is crazy, bro. They're up here shitting on the whole family. Let this marinate, right? Calling other people evil. Think about that shit. This is pure evil.
Wrong. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't manipulate anybody. They didn't threaten anybody. They didn't drive a car to the wall with them as passengers. They didn't do any of that shit. And they're the ones that are evil. That's sick, bro.
What they did is give you a place to lay your head. They gave her a place to live. This is crazy.
iPad babies, man. Get them evaluated.
Oh my gosh, you spent every day with them. The things they said to you personally and sending messages of love and kindness and support and everybody. I don't get it.
They would like fight for me and shit. Like,
yes, I don't get it.
Like, what the
we
fuck?
love you. You're safe with us. You'll always be part of our family. I don't get it. That's a level of evil I will never, ever understand. Because why?
Yo, so the fact that Mackenzie was planning or had planned or even thought about killing herself and Dom, and then, obviously this kid was
and the friend,
an innocent bystander.
Right.
But she took two people out. Now, who knows if she was really trying to take herself out, right? She did have a seatbelt on, and the way she hit that wall, it kind of only really hit the passenger side.
Damaged that other side, yeah.
Yeah, more than anything. So I'm not getting with the whole accident, seizure, malfunction with the vehicle. I'm not with none of that shit.
Yeah, and how the mom can't comprehend how evil, I got the air quotes up for this one, how evil they allegedly are, right? But she could comprehend her daughter taking two lives, no problem.
But the thing is, I don't even think she's even comprehending that. That's the scary part about this. Like, nobody's really digesting. Like, I don't think anybody's really come to the terms that.
Yeah, we haven't even really heard them talk about it. That's a good point.
Mackenzie took two lives. And the fact that they keep on whitewashing this over, like, it's baffling to me, because it's like, if you do it long enough, they think it'll go away and they'll just come into their favor. It's sick to me.
They didn't have to do all that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Or they could have just not even said nothing and then just like they could have been on our side or some shit, but no, they just want to be weird as fuck. Like,
right, like you didn't have to invite us into your home and your heart and say those things. Like, that was completely unnecessary. That's crazy cycle.
The fact that
this is crazy.
The fact that I think that they weren't really reading the room when they were in the room. Like, usually, in a situation like that, especially after the death of a child,
Right.
um, I think they were really trying to see if there was going to be any kind of emotion or what the
Mm.
play was going to be or how far she was willing to go with it. Like I said, I know I said this earlier. There's a play with this because
Yeah,
after
I'm
they
here.
found out everything they found out from the DA, right? In order to make them feel at ease, they had to let them know, everything's okay. You know what I mean? Like, we forgive you, all that good stuff, whatever the case. They might have not said we forgive you, but we love
Right now, I'm
you.
here. I'm here.
Just tell them what they need to hear to keep them at
Yeah,
ease,
tell them what they want
so
to hear. I
they
can
don't
dig it.
raise any red flags. So
Right,
now, hindsight is always 2020, but they're not seeing it from the real, true perspective of they did something wrong.
right. They
They're
didn't want to stir no shit up neither. They didn't want to like stir the pot. You know what I mean?
no, but that's the
Gas.
best way to do it. The parents did it the best way, and I'm pretty sure the DA coaxed them in order to do so, right? But the
Right,
fact that Mackenzie and her mother are not even comprehending any of this in the sense of that they're all the way in the wrong, all the way from the mother's condoning and coddling and all this other enabling.
right,
She has a lot to do with this. And the fact that they keep on lying to one another and lying about the situation and then avoiding any kind of real attachment to the situation and showing
right.
remorse or being,
Yep.
humbled or having some kind of humility. There's none of that.
Yeah. And condolences to the families, man. Like I always say, rest in peace to the victims. Rest in peace, Dominic Russo. Rest in peace, Davion Flanagan.
Yeah.
Condolences to the families, as always. Respect.
Level. That's crazy. I don't understand that part. That's messed up. Like you didn't have to go out to dinner with her. You know what I mean? You didn't have to come over to the house and drop off gifts for her. That's weird.
Her mother is weird as
Yeah,
fuck.
this is crazy. They're weird as fuck. They're basically up here saying they did all this nice shit for you, then you did this, and now they're gonna shit on you. Like
No,
they
no, no.
don't
I think
see the
this is while she was
contradiction
out.
here.
This is while
Yeah,
she was
that's what I'm
out.
saying. They bent over backwards, like you know,
No, Ronnie, I think this is
making
after
shit
she got.
convenient.
No, listen. I think this is after she got out from when she was arrested,
Right,
or
right.
or before they arrested her. They were trying to figure out, you know what I mean, what was
Still
going
playing
on.
nice. Yeah,
Still
they don't
playing
know what.
nice.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Trying to
It's
figure out what's
weird.
what.
It was completely unnecessary. I don't even know why. What kind of mental bullshit is that?
I hate it here. Like, I literally hate it here so much.
Yeah.
Oh, we're starting to see how it's starting to get to the
Yeah,
gut. It's
yeah.
starting to hit the gut now
Got
because
to
the
break up.
reality just set in. And I watch, mommy's gonna come swoop in and change the subject and do a smoothie,
Rock the
uh,
cradle.
a queuing. She's gonna do
Yeah.
a queuing.
Don't forget to like and
Oh.
subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
YouTube streets.
And
Yeah.
as always, shout out to Phone Calls from Prison. You were, yeah.
Salute.
Yo, that was a crazy one. I like how they didn't show the end of that. It wasn't even, time to go. I'm pretty sure mommy had a soothing technique. She was gonna rock the baby
Oh
to
yeah,
sleep.
but they cut that rate off. See you later. Fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
leaves us
The
stressed. Next
father
level.
is a poor excuse for a man. How did you let your
Facts.
household break and fold to the point where your wife and daughter have their own language and
Yeah.
and the daughter's tricking?
Yep.
Let's not forget that, y'all.
He a cuck. He don't give a fuck. He a whole cuck.
Well, he's calling her pumpkin and shit. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but it just seems
Oh,
weird.
so whoa, DVS, what are you insinuating right there? Be real with me.
Listen,
No,
man, I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. You just said pumpkin out of nowhere. I didn't listen to the call. I came late, y'all. Sorry. New Age Plug, you did it again. You already know what it is. But I know the dad. I know the dad is that type of cuck dad that we dealt with, like Kelly with Deni's husband
And Stephen
type.
Stearns, Stephen Stearns pops is a fucking cuck
Stephen
too.
Stearns. Man.
And all these male role models to these fucking weirdo killers. They're all weirdish cucks. You know what I mean? They're just they
Schmucks.
They took their nuts and they cut them off and they handed them over, and then they get to see them every once in a while.
But
And
I'm
then they
asking
get
you
treated like
about that relationship between the dad and Mackenzie, because when you said pumpkin right there, I've already been feeling it. My gut tells me that dad has been doing inappropriate stuff to Mackenzie her whole life. Now I know that's crazy
Oh
saying,
shit.
and we
Yeah.
might get sued for it. But DVS, do
allegedly.
you have that vibe? I'm just asking you if you had that vibe. That's all.
I don't know. Now that you said it, it makes it weird. But for me, I think the whole vibe is weird. The whole family
Yeah.
dynamics is definitely on something else. I don't
I
understand.
think he's in the dock a little bit. Like they put him in the corner, but the mom's on
To
that
an
pimping
extent,
prostitution shit. Her and the daughter.
but the pumpkin shit is weird, though. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah, she's
And
grown.
it could be subconsciously something attached to what it is that Pluck said, But the pumpkin shit is weird. The fact that it's like, um, none of this shit took place, and she's not in there for two bodies, and she's acting like she didn't do it, and she's lying, and y'all know she's lying, and nobody's saying nothing, and
Yeah.
y'all keep on
I
condoning this
just thought he
shit.
was mimicking the Mary and the mother with the baby talk. You know what I mean? At first, it's like they still cradling her, like coddling her. It's
And she
crazy.
throws little tantrums, and they don't do nothing. Like
Yeah, she
it's,
starts kicking and screaming on
you know what it
dropping
is?
on the floor.
I think she's somewhere along the line. She missed the ass whipping that she was supposed to get, and it didn't.
Oh,
And
definitely.
it definitely it changed the trajectory of how the fuck she turned out. Because I'm old school, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, the
you
family
don't just go
dynamics are crazy.
whooping ass for no reason. But if
Right.
there's a reason, you know what I'm saying. You make sure you address the situation. You move on. You know what I mean?
Let me read a couple of these texts real quick that she sent to Dom, because one of these texts say, we're breaking up. My mom and dad never broke up in the 20 years they've been together. My dad doesn't treat my mom like this, the way you
Oh
treat
shit.
me. And
Ooh,
then one more thing before I let you talk on this is that she would use daddy to come be like, oh, I'm gonna get my dad. I'm gonna get daddy.
Oh,
And
she
when
was
I
threatening
hear
with
daddy, I
pops.
hear sharp, bro. I'm sorry. I know this
Right.
is, but I feel like she was groomed into this human being, and I feel like there's some inappropriate stuff that was in the house. They could sue me all they want,
But plug.
but
In
yeah,
my
good.
opinion, if that was the case, and we never know, but he would have a little more say so. The fact that he don't have no say so whatsoever shows that he has no type of control or power over the situation at all. That's just a observation I'm
he
making, but I
it's
could be
almost
wrong.
like he's along for the ride, Ronnie. You know what I mean? Like he's just I'm here. I'm going along for the ride. She's got my nuts, and I'm
Right.
just here. What's up? What's going on? Yeah, all right, pumpkin. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you get to a new floor. No, I
He
didn't get
could be
any of
one
your
of those
friends.
closet abusers, though, where
Right.
when the jail call, when as soon as that call shuts, as soon as those cameras go off, he's putting hands on Natalie. That's another theory I have.
Whoa, definitely not.
Abuse.
Definitely not. That she is way too
I think she's
confident, and
wearing the pants, yeah.
she did. You would have heard signs. There would have been clear red flags, bro.
Yeah.
This whole
If
dynamic would
anything,
have been very different. Very different.
if
This
anything, she might be putting
Mackenzie
hands
wouldn't
on
who
him.
she is right now if that was the case. I don't think
Mm,
so. Yeah, no. That would change the whole dynamic of everything. That would be like the
right.
butterfly effect on steroids.
Oh yeah, dominoes. Dominoes, motherfuckers.
But yeah, this is a wild one. I know they got some other calls coming out. I look forward to dissecting those and breaking those down. Thank you for the support, everybody. Shout out to the chat, New Age Plug, Ronnie Blue Eyes, DVS Stuck in the System, and as always, stay humble but stay responsibly dangerous. I'm out of here, fellas.
Pass the split, this stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. I never wanna get in this car again. You can never heal these scars again. Pass the split, this stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. I never wanna get in this car again. You can never heal these scars again. Papa Steve with the man, listen, yeah, Kenzie, better get your ass in that damn kitchen, cooking for the inmates, and you really need to pay attention. Yeah, you really think you gon' get out, you can keep wishing. Yeah, them bitches want you dead, they going on a mission. She doing Kegels in the cell, yeah, she's in position. She ain't got the proper products, yeah, she smelling fishy. Them homemade dildos, yeah, they hitting different. It's okay that you gay now. I heard you doing crochet now. You on the yard from the playground. You gonna stand up or you gonna lay down? Pass the slip. This stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. Pass the slip. This stupid ass bitch try to crash the whip. I'm never gonna go in this car again. This stupid ass bitch can heal these scars again. I'm smoking so much Kenzie, I'm in Mars again. I'm never gonna get involved again. This little ass bitch won't evolve in the end. She will never ever drive a car again. Her parents gonna be long and gone by then.
What are you doing? You need to get away from me. You need to get away from me. I'm calling the police.
The fuck? Yeah. Yo, Kenzie, this your last ride. Yo, Kenzie, this your last ride. You can't run, you can't hide. Yo, Kenzie, this your last ride. Yo, Kenzie, this your last. You can't run, you can't hide. Yo, Kenzie, this your last ride. Yo, Kenzie, this your last. Boy, you even them crash. You treat that Yoda just like a Benz. You give this bitch a second chance, I swear she'll do it again. Yo, put her in the water in prison with them sharks if she can swim. I think she is a mean girl in the pen, she ain't got real friends. Put her in the cell with Sarah Boone, she's gonna break and bend. Yo, Sarah Boone, put you in a suitcase, now your life gon' end. They don't rape your ass, tied you up and then taped your ass. Put you on the screen, yeah, they taped your ass. 2 bitches done ate your ass. Ooh, cause y'all ain't got nothing to do. Yeah, you should've never did voodoo. They ran the chain just like choo-choo. Now you crying just like boo-hoo. All them kites they send them through. I know you want K2. All your friends said they gay too. All your friends, they gay too. This bitch won't see outside till the year 2035. You can't run, you can't hide, that's your last ride. I know some bitches that gon' pull up and they slide, but I know some dudes that won't do shit, yeah, look at Hyde. Danny Masterson's in prison, living the best life.